today. So we're going to have our meeting and then we'll have lunch. Is that good? Perfect. I have the grandest of surprises for you today. And I'm very, very, very excited about it. So we're going to get started with that so we can get him in and moving right through because I know he has another meeting to go to. So is David here? He's not. Okay, then I'm going to do it. Dan. This is Dan Grieve, Grieb, and Dan is a MAPS coach.
Yes.
He is a mega agent in Orlando, Florida. Yes. And he runs, he does Ironman. Yeah, he's pretty awesome. Do you mind me telling him what you just told me?
No.
He's lost 110 pounds in the past
You go, Dan.
Wow. I'm going to study under him because I need to do that too. I'm not going to run an Ironman, but I'll study on weight loss because that is so awesome. But Dan is partnering with 5 Doors, which is one of our teams here. So Dan brings something new and very exciting to our office, and I'm going to let him tell you about that.
Yeah, so thank you. I'd love to tell you about our partnership and me coming and joining the office, but you guys have all asked questions. You know, you've heard that I've lost 110 pounds, so why don't I take a moment and just talk about that?
Okay.
Something maybe I can offer you guys some strategies to maybe improve your lives. You know, there's 3 things that I live by, 3 sayings that I live by, and I did as a businessman, I do as a parent, and now I do in health. And number 1 is, life is 10% about what happens and 90% about how you respond. I mean, that's a lesson we teach our children, right? It's not about what happens that really matters, it's about how you respond to what happens. So for me, you know, I grew up very poor, and I thought I wanted to be a police officer, but when I got married, I wanted to give my wife the life my mother never had. See, my mom had to work 3 jobs just to put food on the table, and we struggled financially all the time growing up, and I wanted my wife to work because she wanted to, not because she had to, and to be there for our children if that was the choice she made. Well, I went off to become a police officer and fulfill, you know, what I thought was my dream of doing something people told me I would never do. I came from a rough neighborhood in New York, and when I told people when I grew up I wanted to be a police officer, they'd laugh at me and say, "You'll be lucky not to be in jail. Forget about being a police officer." And so I was like, well, here I am as a police officer, you know, advancing through my career, but I was making just enough money to be broke all the time. Has anybody here ever experienced that? Mm-hmm. You know, there was always more months left at the end of your money. You know, the money would end on the 15th and there was like 15 days left. Well, that's how my life was as a cop. You know, I was working, you know, undercover. I got an opportunity to work for the DEA. I got to travel all across the United States, Puerto Rico, and Canada, catching bad guys. But I was not making enough money to support my family. And my wife came to me one day and she said, you know, do you think I should get a job? And I was like, well, that's not the commitment I made to you, and I don't think that that's right. So I'll tell you what, I'll look for something else. And so here I was as a police officer, and I had 3 choices. I'll keep this brief, by the way.
You keep going.
Thank you. I said I got 3 choices, really. I was a police officer, but I had also gone to paramedic school a little bit, so I could maybe transition into nursing and become a nurse practitioner. You know, in my head, I was thinking, if I can make $100,000 a year, you know, I'll be rich. I mean, because when you make cop salary, $100,000 is rich, right? So I was thinking, if I could just do that, I'll be rich. All my problems will be solved. And I knew nurse practitioners made that much, so I could do that. Then I was like, well, that would be like 4 more years of school. Like, I would take too long. My wife would have to work then. I wouldn't be around with my kids. It just wouldn't be what I wanted. So I was like, well, I'm a police officer, so that automatically makes me smarter than all attorneys. I'll just go to law school and become an attorney. And they make $100,000.
We have attorneys over there.
Well, they all know that's true.
I've heard them all.
This is something they teach in law school. The cops are arrogant. Okay. But then I was thinking, you know, like more school is associated, and again, same problem. And then I had a friend who was selling real estate, and he was making $5,000 a sale, and I was like, well, if I could just sell 20 houses a year, maybe I could do that. So I actually went to a real estate coaching seminar because I'm really smart and thought it was real estate school and tried. I'm brilliant. And at the end, they were like, and if you want to accomplish all these things, you need to sign up for coaching. Coaching is $1,000. And I'm like, well, I got $1,000. I got $3,000 in the bank to my name. That's all the money I have in the world. I should sign up. So I went to go sign up, and they said, do you have your real estate license? I said, no, but I will in a couple weeks, and we get this coaching thing started right now. And they said, well, how much money do you have? I said, $3,000. You only need $1,000. And they said, well, it's a 12-month contract. I said, I know. I mean, I'll have to make a sale, but I'll do it. And they said, well, I'm sorry, but like, do you have any investment properties? I said, no. They said, do you have any savings, stocks, or bonds? I said, no. They said, sorry, you can't sign up for coaching. And I saw that as an opportunity for me to like really change my life, and I really needed to make this change. And I'm one of those guys that, once I make a decision that I need to make a change in my life, I'm going to do it, no matter what happens. So I, look, there was a line of people. I was looking around, and I'm like, they're really not verifying anything. So I got back in line and came back around the other side, and I said, I'd like to sign up for coaching. And they said, how much money do you have in the bank? And I said, $30,000. They said, do you have any rental properties? I said, sure, plenty of those. Do you have any stocks or bonds? I said, yes. They said, what kind? And I really, honestly said this. One's from Wall Street. That's the stocks I had, and they let me sign up for coaching. And I did everything my coach said, and I literally had to sell a house my first month, and I did. And my goal was to sell 20 homes, and my first year I sold 42 homes, and I went from making $42,000, a little bit less than that, to $242,000 my first year in real estate. But then I lost the other side of that. Like, that's an impressive thing, right? So you made a lot of money, and then off you went. Well, that next year, we fell off the cliff, right? That's 2006 happened in Orlando, and like nothing sold. And the market shifted, and I had to battle out of that, right? Because I made all of the traditional real estate mistakes. Nobody taught me anything in school. I went to real estate school for a couple of weeks. They didn't teach me about personal finance. They didn't tell me, like, here's a good idea, Dan. Why don't you pay your taxes at the end of the year? Maybe you can save for that. I just figured, the IRS will worry about me. So I just didn't pay them my first year. And then that happened. And then I bought, the most expensive house in the neighborhood because my real estate friends told me I should do that. And then I did, and I still have the record for the person who spent the most money in that neighborhood at the time for a house ever.
Congratulations.
That's the record. And I did that, and I made all these mistakes. So here I was 2 years later, literally crying with my hands in my face, saying, I left being a cop making $42,000 a year. Now I make six figures, and I'm actually in a worse position than I ever was before. And so I made a commitment to my wife again and my children that I would never put them in that financial position again, and I would get financially educated. So I started learning from Dave Ramsey, Clark Howard, all of these financial people that we all know of. And I decided that I was going to go and live a debt-free life. And I told my wife, listen, I don't care what it takes. I'm going to go get us back to stability. I'll never bring us back to this place. So I literally worked every day, locked myself in my office, turned my doorknob backwards, where I was locked in, I could not get out, made a commitment with someone else in the office that he would not let me out, and for 3 hours a day. So when I arrived at 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, minimum of 3 hours, but it was till noon. I normally stayed till noon in my office, could not get out. And team leader came up to me and said, well, what happens if the place is on fire? You have to change your doorknob. And I said, you just have to let me burn down because I'm not coming out. I'm just going to do this. I'm not going to let my wife and my children live the same life I did. And if this is my only chance, I'm in real estate. I can't go to law school. I can't go to medical school. I don't have time for anything else. I have this license. I have this opportunity. I have to do something different if I want something to be different for me. So I did. I went completely off the rails and learned financial solvency, literacy. I started understanding investing and managing my money and managing a business and building a business. And I did that for the next 4 or 5 years, not only to get out of debt, that I had caused myself by not paying the IRS, which is a total scam. They will allow you to negatively amortize your payments. Let me just give you guys an example. I owed the IRS $50,000 or $60,000, and I set them up on a payment plan. They're like, fine, just pay me $400. The IRS, fine, just pay us $400 a month, and we'll give you your money back, and we'll stop harassing you. So I paid them $400 a month, like clockwork, every month. I didn't even look at the statements. At the end of 2 years, I owed them more money than when I originally started because they let me negatively amortize the money I was paying them. They were okay with me going further in debt. They didn't even set me up for a payment plan where I could ever get out. And if you guys know what debt is slavery. It's bondage. And I was stuck in bondage to the United States government, as well as all these other things, and the bondage of financial illiteracy that I grew up in. So then what did I do? I did all of that, and it came at a cost. For me to be my first family's millionaire, and that's what I focused on, I put on, all this weight. I put on a ton of weight. I weighed a total of 330 pounds at one point. And then I looked up, and I've got the money, I've got a great family, I've got a great relationship with my kids, I've got the business. And people would make this statement to me, like, Dan, you can't have it all. You can't have it all, guys. Like, listen, you're a good looking real estate agent. Like, you got your health, you got this, like, your marriage isn't going to be perfect. You can't have it all. Or you got a really great relationship with your kids, you got a perfect marriage, like, you got a great business. Like, stop worrying about, like, something's got to give. Like, that's the mentality that the 80% world wants you to believe. But the reality is, in the 20% world, you can have it all. You really can. It just requires sometimes you get up a little bit earlier, you stay up a little bit later, you think differently, you manage your time differently, and that's the only real difference. And you stop listening to those outside rooms like this, outside of your safety, where people will lift you up and teach you the right way to live a life. Because the herd out there just wants you to just keep walking along, in that corporate thought process. But the reality is you're an entrepreneur and you have your own business opportunity in Keller Williams or wherever you go to have the life of your desire. You legitimately can have it all. And I wanted to be a better example of that. So at 40 years old, I said, listen, I'm not doing that again. Another day, another story, I'll come back and talk. I went and had a weight loss surgery, went crazy to working out, said I'm going to do Ironman, I'm going to do these things, and I would never go back. And 3 weeks after I had that surgery, told everybody on my team I had to fire my whole team, my whole real estate team. 3 weeks later. My CEO, and I'll tell you another day, I'll come back, this will be like cliffhanger. My CEO was having an affair with my college intern. And one thing I was not going to allow to happen is I was not going to allow, while I was owning a business, I was not going to allow it to matter for that. We were going to be better than that. And so everybody that knew about it, refused to tell me about it, lied about it, concealed it, were all gone. But then here's the old thought process. The old Dan said, well, I'll just do what I've always done. I'll just Mountain Dew, get up early, stay up late. I'll put all my effort back towards working, work 7 days a week, and I'll just eventually get out of this. But I wasn't going to do that again. That was not my new mentality. My new mentality is I could have it all. So I started leaning into the systems and models of Keller Williams even deeper than I had before. Read and relied on the Millionaire Real Estate Agent that had made me a millionaire and said, I'm really going to lean into this now, and I'm going to understand leverage at a level I've never understood it before. I'm really going to dig deep into the people that are available in Keller Williams. I'm going to call them and ask them for help. How did they get there? How did you do that? And I'm going to really build a life around these systems. And these aren't really business systems. Like, that's the thing. That's the way that Keller Williams tricks you guys into doing it. It's like, oh, these are business stuff, right? It's like victim accountable mentality. That's business stuff. It's not. It's life systems that apply to business that you should take home and teach your children, take home and share with your family. And that's what I've been doing. So as a result, all of that leaning into the pain of my life has turned into corporate 500 companies asking me to come in and consult with them. So my business model now is that I work primarily with builders in Orlando and in Ocala. And one of the builders here, Century Communities, is a great builder. They have a great product. The problem here is that they bought another builder. And when they bought that builder, they had to now readapt to new people, new systems, new models, 51 communities all at one time. And they've recognized that we have not engaged the agent community very well. And they've asked me to come in and help them engage the agent community a little bit better, to help them reestablish some relationships that may have been broken, and to help them take new territory. And so when I came here, I looked around. I had to do good due diligence. I looked at a guy that has billboards on every sign and talked to him. I talked to different, you guys know what I'm talking about, by the way?
Yeah.
Think so. All right. Just cracking. I don't know if you guys were looking when you got. I talked to them. I talked to several other teams, and I really said, where's the office? Where's the teams that we can really partner with here that I'd be proud to hang my license at as well, and I can come partner with them, and we can really build something great together with a builder that really wants to work with the agent community, that really wants to recognize that, well, listen, we struggled for a while, but we want to get better, and that really espouses to a lot of the same things that Keller Williams does. And I said, I want to land here. And when I landed here, I just happened to coach David for 2 years maybe. And I knew him, I knew his growth trajectory. And see, when I evaluate people, what I evaluate is not what they do well. I don't care about what you do well. Everybody does the well things right. As David's gone through some things in his life, he'll talk about them if he wants to, or he doesn't have to. But I watched and evaluated how he handled that. See, because life is 10% about what happens and 90% about how you respond. And when I said I'm going to make my bet on a team here, and I'm going to bet on an office here, I know what this office went through years ago. I know what David's gone through, and the character that was developed in those moments, in those people, is something that I want to be part of. And it was an easy sell for Century Communities. So here's what's happening, is they've got 51 communities. They have literally millions of dollars in commission dollars that they want to pay to agents. They just haven't effectively communicated that. Okay? They haven't let you guys know about their products. They haven't invited you in. They just hasn't been as coactive as they could have been, and they really want to do a better job of that. So we're going to help them by bringing some listings on here at this office in the next couple of days. About 27 listings are going to come on. We're going to start doing some staffing at some of their communities, so there's no longer like you go bring a buyer to one of their communities. There'll always be somebody there, whether it be a Keller Williams agent or, from Dave's team or outside, whether it be one of their people, and then we're going to get a consistent message. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to educate this group starting here at home, because this is my new home. We're going to educate this group, and you guys are going to be the builder specialists. You're going to know as much as you want to know about the builder process. Sometimes it's real easy, and sometimes a little bit more complicated. But on the ground for Century Community, I speak your language. So I'm going to provide, a phone number if you are with a Century Community, the situation you're in a purchase there, and you find yourself not getting the answers you need or finding a breakdown in communication, you can just call me directly and I'll help you get that answer. I'll walk you through that transaction. You owe me nothing. Dave's team will do the same thing once they're completely taught up. And that's our commitment to them. So how does that sound? I see a lot of shaking your head yes. Like, does that sound like something like you guys want to be part of?
Yeah.
Good. Listen, we talked about this at Keller Williams a long time ago. Like, we're taking territory. We're building the empire, okay? Well, Century Communities is the #2 builder here in Atlanta. The day they bought Peachtree Communities or Peachtree Builders, their company grew by 60%. So the largest part of Century Communities is right here in Atlanta. They're rebuilding their empire. And I've made a commitment to come alongside of them, help them do that. And the first thing that we know you got to do when you build an empire is do what? You got to take territory. So I'm asking you guys if you want to be soldiers and help us take some territory. Oh, and by the way, they'll compensate you handsomely for that. But let's go take some territory together. I'll come back, teach on this stuff or anything else that I can motivate you with. The skills and things that I have to offer are not just for Century Communities, and they're not just for your business, they're for your life. And if I gave you anything less, then I wouldn't serve you as a leader, I wouldn't serve you as a peer, and I definitely wouldn't serve you as an instructor. So whenever you're in one of my classes, understanding I want to make you into a better human being. As you become a better human being, better parent, better mom, dad, boyfriend, girlfriend, sister, cousin, any of those parts, you become better, then all of a sudden your business becomes better, then all of a sudden the office becomes better, all of a sudden Century Community becomes better, all of a sudden our country becomes better, and that's how it all plays out, and that's how I feel like I can impact the world. Sound good?
Well,
Thank you very much. All right.
Thank you.
Sound good?
That's awesome.
All right. God bless you guys. See you later.
Thank you so much.
Nice meeting you. Thank you guys.
Talk to me about, that was 18 minutes, and I wrote down some big things. What did you get out of that? Because you all are all sitting here with these beautiful smiles on your face. It's like you're agreeing and connecting to what he said. What did you get? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I totally took two major points with me.
Yes.
Yeah, commitment, definitely making a commitment to your business, to yourself, and being in the 20%, not the 80.
Being in the 20%, not the 80. When I told you what he had done in real estate, you all sat there and were faceless. And when I told you he had lost 110 pounds in 2 years, the energy in the room changed. Did you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear the claps?
Mm-hmm.
Do you realize he changed his life and changed his world? Changed his life and changed his world. I'm telling you, I am so excited that you all, this office, we all have the opportunity to be in this man's world. And he has made a huge commitment to this office to teach us what he knows about construction, opportunities for you to sit on site if you want to in some of those communities and do open houses and pick up buyers and different things like that. But the main thing is you have to promise me if he teaches, you're all gonna be in the room, because you're gonna come away differently than you walked in the room. Because he's not about just your business. You all know how to do deals. You can do the next deal. But he's about bigger things than that. And I was so excited that one of the people that I heard speak that totally changed my life was David Osborne. And he is in a small mastermind group of about 11 men with David Osborne, and they're very good friends. And so I see the like-mindedness. Does that make sense? So they're gonna be bringing literally hundreds of listings into our world in the next few months. And they're gonna need a lot of help if you all want to be a part of that. And oh, by the way, they're gonna compensate you well for that. Is that cool?
Yes.
Pretty darn awesome. Another leg of your stool for business. And he was running to another office, so I put him on first so he could do that. Was it worth it?
Yes.
Okay, great. He is a MAPS coach. I don't know if he's looking for more clients or not, but if you're looking for a MAPS coach, I would definitely ask him if he is looking for more clients, because he knows how to build it from the ground up, and he speaks to the whole person. So if you're looking for a MAPS coach, that might be a great one for you. So, Dan Grieve. You can look him up on YouTube. He's got some great, if you have trouble defending your commission, Dan has a great video on YouTube about how to protect your commission dollars and not discount those. A great video on that, so look that up. We have Residential Inspectors of America today.
Hello everybody. I apologize for the late food delivery. We had a schedule 10:45-11. They use a third-party company usually. Yesterday we supported Dory's event and they were here early. Today they had to use their own company and they are scrambling. Sorry, but food is there now. So
We'll have it after meeting.
My apologies.
It'll be as great after meeting as it would have
Thank
been
you,
before.
Robin. Thank you, guys. So I guess taking that mantra, life is about what happens to you and how you
Respond
handle
to
it.
us.
So I guess we can all put that into effect today. So again, my apologies.
No
Good
worries.
to see you all, Residential Inspector of America. We have been a preferred vendor in your office for years now, and I thoroughly enjoyed working with your office, and I want to just give you guys all a big congratulations on your ranking. I'm so proud of it. I feel like I own that too, so I always spread the word when I'm out and about. I'm so proud of this office. I just wanted to say that. It seems like it's a magical formula or something, but the positivity and the energy, I'm in a lot of other offices, and I honestly have to say, by far, when I come into your office, I totally take that positivity and energy in my own world, and it does great things for me even, so thank you for that opportunity. So just to give you a quick history about Residential Inspector of America, we are not a franchise. We have been in business since 1989. We're 30 years old. We have surpassed our 65,000
That's about my
inspections.
age.
Yeah, right. I wish my age. I was born when they came into acceptance. But we have passed our 65,000 inspection. We have 20 inspectors. We have acquisitioned a small company south of the airport. We're able to meet needs now south of the airport that we weren't able to meet. I have a colleague here with me today, Bonnie, who is part of that company, and she is now coming on board with us. I'm going to be training her fully, and she's sharing it with us today. So we are growing rapidly as well. During due diligence period, I want to stress we can handle your needs. We will do the best we can. We will jump through hoops to make that happen. Even like last month, I was 3 agents had come to me and said, Tricia, do you think you can make something happen this afternoon or tomorrow? We are extremely busy already since January. But you know what? I made it happen. We put them on a wait list. We kind of worked around our mapping and did whatever we had to do. We met their needs. So don't let that be a stopping point. And if you can't get through to scheduling to make something happen, please contact me directly, and I will do my best internally to get through those obstacles. So my email is tricia@residentialinspector.com. My direct number is 470-389-3627. Our scheduling office is 770-476-4963. They are available 24/7. at the scheduling office. So they're always there for you. My business cards are always in the mailroom, so if you guys didn't get a chance to write it down or whatever today, go ahead and grab a card, and that way you'll have the contact information. Our website is www.residentialinspector.com, and I hope you all get a chance to visit that. Today is very exciting. We have a new, unprecedented in the industry, 6-month full structural warranty with our upgraded inspection packages. So, you guys who are familiar with us, we have always had the 90-day warranties that come with every single inspection. You don't need to pay for those. You don't need to sign up. You don't need to do anything. They are an automatic, and that's the flyer I gave you guys today. Those remain. So don't think anything's changed with that. What we have done is in the industry, we know there's a lot of structural situations. So we wanted to make sure that you guys are fully covered in that area as well. I wish I could get some of that coverage personally, but anyway, for my own self. And I'm going to go through those with you. If we can, there we go. So package 1, as I said, is the free 90-day offerings. They come with every inspection. That remains. Everything stays the same. What has changed is we have a second package. We're calling it Safe and Sound package. And then we have a package 3. Both of these upgraded packages, the duration, the timelines are 6 months. They're both 6 months. What is different about the two is the monetary coverage. Package number 2 has a 10,000 structural coverage. Okay, and it's going to be $125 to upgrade to that coverage for 10,000 monetary structural coverage. They're also going to go ahead and offer visual mold evaluation and infrared scanning as part of that package. But of course, the brunt of this package is the structural coverage. Package number 3 is going to be a 350 edition. And I, as a salesperson, I used to be in corporate sales and all that good stuff. So when you give me any new product offering, I drill down and I try to pull out that value as much as I can. I was able to extract something interesting out of this. So the $350 package 3 package. Of course, the monetary amount goes to $25,000. Still 6 months. They're going to give an indoor air quality testing. They're giving 2. So if you flip the flyer I gave you to the back, a la carte, that offering right there comes to $500. So you're getting this, and then you'll get the $25,000 structural coverage for that as well. But right in this little area here, you're getting $500 of value because a la carte, those 2 indoor samples are $250 each. So I kind of just pulled that value out when I was reviewing this myself. So I wanted to point that out to you guys. And then again, building on this, you're going to get the visual mold and the infrared scans. So does anybody have any questions right now before we kind of wrap it up? So structural coverage is basically, if you think about anything that supports the home, and that's all kind of goodies. It's like the foundation, the footings, above the windows, you have light trails that kind of provide support as well. Any opening of a wall, you've got to have support above the window, or a door frame, there's support. So that structural stuff can get really interesting. Columns, and that can be outside the home as well, where you can start seeing cracks or settling or things like that. So if it's not a new built home, they give a 1-year warranty usually. And I don't know how extensive some of those are with your structural coverages. But when you have situations like that, this is where this might come, very useful to you guys. So we wanted to provide that level of support too. And of course, we have the 18-month home warranty, which that doesn't cover structural. No home warranty really does. But we do cover the systems and the HVAC and things like that. So we've been offering that for a while as well. And of course, that's a purchase warranty, just like any traditional home warranty. What's neat is we offer 6 months free to our clients who have completed a home inspection with us. So they get the power of a home warranty, 12 months, but they're getting 6 months free because we did the complete home inspection. So it is a huge value there as well. And again, just to recap, the 90 days, all that good stuff on your flyer that we've always offered, we still have that for you guys. And that can be, you can get an upgrade on that structure with these new products that we have. So any questions at all, not counting the new on anything as far as pricing or anything like that. Everybody's good? All right, now I wanted to go through, we offer support website. This is invaluable. If you guys don't even use us, if you don't, You can go on here, you can get education. We have videos, so a labyrinth of videos that you can find out things if you need to know or kind of educate yourself on some issues. We have the protection tab, which will go through these coverages and the warranties that we offer and all that good stuff, because it's really hard to drill down when we're limited. We don't want to take up the whole meeting. And our marketing materials are on there as well. And to get right into the marketing, we provide an utmost amount of marketing to you guys. One that's really popular, I know in your office, is the buyer and seller guides that we have, and you give those to your clients, and it sets the expectation of the transaction. Kind of makes that inspection part much smoother. If you guys would like any marketing materials, we have these white cards, and this is what we engage with you, because I can't possibly talk to you sometimes one-on-one. I do a good job in talking to most of you, but if you would like to request any of these, this is where you would do it. Even the PDF electronic flyer, you can just check mark that and say, I'd like to have that, and then you can take that electronically and just shim it on over to your client if that's all you would like. But if you would like the marketing package, earmark that. I deliver it to the office, I put it in your mail folders, and I let you guys know right away so you have a timeline. Hey, it's in there, so you can pick it up, and it works really smoothly. So go ahead, fill this out, leave it at your table. I stay after the meeting, I clean up everything, and I'll just grab it off the table when I'm done. Does that sound good? All right, awesome. I look forward to working with you guys. Have a good season.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rob, and thanks, guys. Thank you. Robbie, can you pick for me so I can just, thank you. Thank you very much. And this is yours. Yep, you got it. Taiwan, yay. Where is he? Oh, he's like, there you go, see, yay.
That Tom Burrows, he knows everything.
See, now you can go get something other than fruit. I mean, other than what we have.
Charlie.
See my cue here. Hey guys, I'm Charlie Pollard. This is Megan Blanks. I'm a closing attorney with McMahon McLeod Heller. We would love to handle your next closing. I'm going to keep it short today. We're talking about something we're going to do next week along with our friends at CBC. We're going to do a happy hour for you guys. Hopefully you can come and join us.
On what day is that?
It's Tuesday. Tax day. Yeah, tax day. That's right. That's right. So, so next Tuesday, 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock at the Red Pepper Taqueria, which is right there. So come by, say hello, socialize. We're going to try to have a lot of attorneys there. I'm not the only one over there. We've got a lot of other great attorneys. And if that's not a good enough reason to come over and socialize and celebrate tax day, 5%, the bar, the restaurant has agreed to put 5% towards Megan's team and training goal, which is connected to our Keller Williams family here. So Megan's going to tell you a little bit about what she's doing and about what some of that money is going to go towards for the happy hour.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Megan Blanks. I'm the marketing director and social media manager for the firm. So most of you guys know or have heard the name Lynn LaCroix. Her daughter last August was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia. She's 24, and in December, some agents in the Keller Williams First Atlanta office, they reached out to me about participating in a team and training event to raise money in her honor for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. So in June, a team of probably about 15 or so of us are going to head out to Sun River, Oregon for the Pacific Crest Endurance Sports Festival. I'm participating in a half marathon and a 10K back-to-back days. And so I'm raising money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Like Charlie said, Red Pepper is going to donate 5% of the amount of money that we spend on Tuesday towards that fundraising effort. I've got about $2,400 to raise and about $150 raised at this point. So come on out, and the more we eat and drink, the more we raise. Certainly if anybody wants to donate just directly, they're welcome to. You can always reach out to me through social media, Instagram or Facebook directly. You can email me there. But then also the following Wednesday from 1 to 3 on the 25th, I'm going to have an event over at Kendra Scott right here in the Shops Around Lennox. And it's 1 to 3. They donate 20% of whatever is spent. And I kind of strategically planned it for that time because we're going to have, savory and sweet bites and a little champagne and everybody can shop. But I wanted to do it because it's easier for agents that are kind of out and about, during the day. I know y'all are all working too, but probably easier to get there from 1 to 3 than it is from 5 to 7 when everybody's got to go home and make dinner and deal with kids, myself included. So anyway, so come on and support, especially just the happy hour. It's right up the street, and it's going to be great. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Come have a beer for a good cause.
Hey
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Joe Travato, as Jim Hyde said. I want to reintroduce Wills Akins. He was here a couple weeks ago. You all have grown, and so have we. So Wills has joined our team of loan officer, home loan experts. And so, you know, I like to say, you know, sometimes real estate agents say, well, you know, I have to give out 3 names. So, you know, Jim, Will, Joe. There's your 3, right? Okay, so we got you covered. So please welcome Wills. I mean, like I said, you know, just call any one of us. It's not, oh, Jim's my guy, Joe's my guy. We just want the loans coming to CBC so we can give you the service that you guys and your clients deserve. So that being said, I just want to take 1 or 2 minutes. I know we got some great presenters today, but Jim and I would just wanted to talk about where we are today in the market. I mean, we're in the middle of April, so we're right smack in the middle of the busy season, and some of what we're seeing on our end from the mortgage point of view is that we're seeing a lot of contracts going in and then getting terminated, or a lot of, we're still seeing a lot of multiple offer situations. So what we want to talk to you about is just really a reminder is to set yourselves up to win. And what we can do, what we can offer you and your clients, is we can get your client fully approved before they ever even put the offer in. It takes about 24 to 48 hours, right? And I always tell people, do not get caught in the pre-qualification trap, right? And again, for those of you who don't know, a pre-qualification really isn't worth the paper it's written on, right? I write probably 10 of them a day, and I'm telling you they're not worth the paper they're written on because it's an approximation. It's a credit score, somebody verbally telling us how much they make, and then an approximation of how much they're qualified for. So what we would like you to do is to encourage your clients to take the next step and get them fully approved. Now, sometimes that's a little bit scary. Buyers are like, oh, I don't know if I want to take that step. But here's how simple it is. It's 5 pieces of information. W-2s, paycheck stubs, bank statements, copy of driver's license, last year's tax returns. 5 things. Anybody has the ability to buy a house should have those 5 things. And what you can do is we'll basically upgrade your pre-qualification to a full approval or even a commitment letter. So why would we do that? What advantage does that give your clients? Well, it gives them your basic, thank you, Dory. You could basically it's almost as good as cash, right? It is cash, it's just our cash. So what that does is basically it puts your offer to the top of the list, right? Because if you have 10 pre-quals and here's a guy that has been approved, that makes it stronger. Plus, it shortens the time of closing. So we could actually close you probably in 10 to 15 days, right? So it basically sets your clients up to win. But more importantly, what it does for the buyers is that it puts them at ease. It helps them sleep better at night. It helps them make the decision to go ahead and sign that contract or to take the negotiation terms if it's a counteroffer situation because they already been vetted. They already know what the numbers are. They already know how much down payment they have to bring. They already know if it's $5,000 or $10,000 more or $5,000 or $10,000 less. They know how that's going to affect their payment. So it makes your buyer much more confident, right? That's kind of what we see on our side. And if you have a more confident buyer, what does that do? It puts you as their agent in a much stronger position. So again, just as a reminder, I would continue to ask you to please encourage your clients. Number one, first 3 calls, 1, 2, 3. And then encourage them to get fully approved. It just makes everyone's life easier. Dory?
2 things. Okay, so you said W-2, stubs, driver's license, taxes. What was FIN? Was it
Copy of driver's license.
I got that one.
Pay stub? Okay, it's 2 years tax returns.
Yep.
2 years W-2s. Last 2 paycheck stubs. Last 2 bank statements. Copy of driver's license. 2222, copy of driver's license.
And I'd say the only caveat on that pre-approval is there is a time limit on it. If somebody gets pre-approved in December and now they find a house in June, we're going to have to update all that information again. Right. Okay, so just it's so that you can go out and shop in a shorter period of time, not get pre-approved to look for a house 6 months down the road.
Right.
How long is it good for?
45 days. Then you're updated. I mean, a lot of things happen in that 45 days.
If I have just a question. So if we've got a client that we know is new construction and they're not closing for maybe 6 to 9 months, like it hasn't been built out, are you able to do a rate lock and slide it down the road?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Good question.
Yeah. So you want to talk about the rate lock program?
Yeah, rate lock. We've got 180 days and 360 days. Okay, and there is a cost not to the client, it's to rate because you don't know where rates are going to be in the next year. They will be higher, so economists know what the rates are going to be, so that rate will be there. If it's not there, and you're within 30 days of closing that loan, we will float that rate down to the market rate at that point. What it does, it protects the client in case rates went past where that was at that point. Okay, the hardest thing we're seeing on new construction right now is that they say it's gonna be ready in 6 months. It is 6 months, it's just not in a row. Okay, I mean, we've got things that are 6, 7, 8 months past their time frame based on where it is. So when you do that, you're going way past that, so you just have to be cognizant. We like to recommend to a client that even if you're not locking a year down the road, locking within 90 days. Once you know that sheetrock is in, cabinets are in, appliances are ordered, at that point, that 90 days is a good window. You know you're going to close in that time frame.
Sorry?
Does the fully underwritten apply to all loan packages like conventional FHA and VA?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
I have 2 questions. If a property is qualified under Fannie Mae Home Ready, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?
Home Ready is a great
Okay,
thing.
well, yeah, so, Home Ready is a specific property. So basically what happens is, it was a property that Fannie Mae owned and went into foreclosure, so Fannie Mae takes it back. So what they do is they designate that specific property as Home Ready, which means that a buyer of that specific property can basically get the Home Ready guidelines or loan. So what happens is it's no appraisal, it's 3% down, and no mortgage insurance, right?
No
or low
appraisal.
mortgage insurance. What is it?
It's lower mortgage.
Lower mortgage insurance. It's like less than half of what it normally is.
And the only,
So,
the problem
yeah.
with the Home Ready loan right now is any home that's still out there that's Home Ready, that wasn't snapped up, there's probably some inspection items with it, because most of the Home Ready loans have gone off the market that were good homes
Right.
2 years ago. So
Yeah,
I'd
but
be
if you
very
can
careful.
find one, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so the qualification for Home Ready, don't you just go to the Home Ready website and put in an address? And if they say no income limit, that's the property, right?
That's if you're going directly through Home Ready, but any lender can do a Home Ready product if you're finding a Home Ready loan. We all have access to Home Ready.
Okay, maybe we can check that.
Okay.
The second question.
Yeah.
I have seen some banks able to offer non-sale contingency, which means that the seller, who is now become a buyer, able to hold 2 mortgages at the same time, to buy into the next house and while waiting for like the house to sell. So typically, I think this is done through a bridge loan.
The answer is yes. There's multiple ways of doing it. Through a bridge loan, number one, but the client still has to qualify to be able to pay both payments. So there's nothing special about that. As long as your debt to income ratio qualifies for the bridge loan and the new house, you're able to buy that other house. If your DTI, your debt to income ratio, is too high, you're not going to be able to get that other house until you sell the previous residence or the departing residence.
Yeah, so can I take 30 seconds?
Yeah.
All right, so that's something that we're seeing a lot because a lot of the sellers won't accept a contingency contract, right? Contingent on the sale of the current home. So there's really 3 ways to handle that. Number one, like Jim said, you qualify for both payments, right? But that's only good if the buyer has enough money to put down on the new house. Or we do a bridge loan, which basically puts a loan on the existing home. They do an equity line or some sort of loan, it's called a bridge loan. We do those. And they take that money out to use as a down payment on the new house.
But you need equity in
Right,
the house.
but you need equity in the house, which is another way to do it. Or the third way to do it is we can do what's known as a piggyback loan. So on the new house that you're gonna buy, right, we can do a 5% down, right? But a lot of people say, well, I don't wanna do a 5% down because when my house sells, I'm gonna take 20% out of that house and put it down on the new house, and I don't wanna have a high loan amount. Well, what we do is there's 2 ways to do it. We can do it as a 5% down, and then when you sell the house, we can do what's known as a recast, a loan recast. So you sell the house, and then you basically make a principal reduction payment on your mortgage, and we'll recast your payment so it'll lower it down. Or we can do a first and a second. So in other words, you put a 5% down, we'll do an 80% first loan, right? So say the house is $100,000. We'll do a loan for $80,000, a first loan, and then a $15,000 second. The buyer brings $5,000 to the table, and then when the existing house sells, they pay off the second loan. Right? So those are some strategies in today's market to basically combat or answer the question or solve the problem of what do I do when I can't get a contingency.
And if you have more questions about
I'm
that,
sorry.
please, no, that's fine.
We wanted to keep it short today.
Yeah, that's me keeping
It's all
it short.
good.
Yeah, I know.
It's
Right.
all good. If you have more questions about that specifically, please see them.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for the time. I'm sorry I went over.
So what we all need. I want to update you about what's going on as far as construction around here. And thank you and apologize to you and anything I need to do to make it better for you that we had jackhammers in the lobby last Friday. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I had no clue that a jackhammer would be needed to uproot a tile. I've had tile uprooted at my house. They put a little chisel and banged it and pop it went. I had no idea. I am so sorry. I would have warned you. I told you all you probably want to avoid the lobby on Friday, but I had no idea how much you needed to. So I apologize profusely for that.
You gonna tell about the steamroller coming through the hallways today?
I'm not
Oh,
I will tell you that I think the worst is over, but as sure as I say that, who knows what's going to happen. But I think it's going to be something that you're absolutely so proud of when it's all done. The next thing is they're doing a lot of nailing right now with the new pneumatic, now I haven't said that word nailer, with the air compressor, and so that's going to make some noise. But that flat wall as you walk in is going to be a beautiful wainscoted wall with beautiful sconces. The furniture's all been ordered. The furniture for new conference rooms in the expansion space, hallelujah, has been ordered. New chairs for the tiny conference room that you feel like you're sitting on the floor, they've been ordered. New furniture for the lobby's been ordered. So if you'll just bear with us for these next few weeks, hopefully all this stuff will come in and you'll be so proud of what it looks like. Kenya.
And I just want to thank Dory and Aaron putting that video on Peachtree Road, because I watched it, and then when I arrived here, I was like, oh my God, what was the code? So being able to go back and look at that video, thank you, because I was able to get in the building. I appreciate it. It was a really good video. So
You know, when you have, I don't have time, but leads, listings, and leverage, right? Okay, when I'm on vacation and the leadership team rises to the level that that leadership team rose to last week is amazing. They came up with strategies for the pizza man downstairs. Y'all please go give him business, because we ruined his day last Friday. People got up and walked out of his restaurant. But our leadership team put a sign on the door and said, call James Barron. James was here at 6 a.m. on Saturday morning to make sure everything went well. And I just owe them a huge debt of gratitude. And I want you to know I'm very, 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 where's Erin? Grateful, because I'm missing her little face in this too. But so grateful to you all, Dory, for helping. And I just, you know, sometimes they serve you and you don't even realize it, that they're serving. And just appreciate them every opportunity that you get, because they are truly high-level leaders. Thank you, Kenya, for that. I appreciate it. It's going to get better, and it's going to look great, and you're going to be proud of it. The bathrooms are being painted. The hallways are being painted. The lobby's being painted. The town hall's being painted with all new furniture. So you're going to have some great places to hang. All the paper things are the next thing. Like when you have your little name outside your door, those are all coming down today, so we can get them painted in the next couple of days. So don't panic. We'll fix it back.
Yeah, we haven't released your license. It's okay.
Well, and actually we're going to fix it back real quick with a really pretty, looks like glass, but acrylic thing that actually has your name etched in it. So we probably won't put the paper back out, but just so you know, all those things are being done. And hopefully that'll be great. I have ordered over 200 copies of the Atlanta Business Chronicle for you. And I put one out there for you. Please, 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 please use that in your listing presentation. If you have a highlighter, highlight that top one that says this office was number 1. Please use those in your listing presentation. And just FYI, so you know, the first quarter stats, show us in the lead again. In the lead again. So we're 2018 trending even higher. This is the first, we've always been higher, well, the past 2 years in volume. This year you are also highest in units. Woo! So excited. So excited about that. So that's awesome. James, we're going to finish up today because they're going to still get to eat. So I want you to tell about some education things, and then we have some things from the ALC.
Okay, well then we will make this the speediest education conversation we've had ever. So what we're looking at, you guys know about most of this stuff. One thing I do want to mention tomorrow is a how to run your business workshop. Tax in-house is going to be coming in discussing profit and loss statements. So if you don't know what a profit and loss statement is, then that conversation that Dan was having flew right over your head, because it's about having a really good knowledge about how to run your business at a high level. And then the following week, I'll be coming in and talking about how to have a business plan. So those two run hand in hand. So I would not miss that. Robin, you wanted to talk about Friday and Saturday.
I do want to talk about Friday
next
and
Friday
Saturday.
and Saturday.
Next Friday, not this Friday, but next Friday. How many of you have ever paid for a Zillow lead? Raise your hand, tell the truth, shame the devil. You know you did it. All right. How many of you feel like you did a good job of taking those offline? Yeah, that's what I thought. Next Friday from 2 to 4, one of the best people on the planet, Lisa Archer, who is recognized as one of the top 100 most influential people in real estate, not in Keller Williams, but in real estate by Inman News, will be in our Market Center live and in person. And it'll be a $10 donation to KW Kids Cares to attend her class. And her class is bringing the online offline. She teaches at Family Reunion. She normally charges $1,500 a day, and oh, by the way, she is charging $1,500. Market Center's paying that and letting you donate. This room better be full. Got it? Okay. Saturday, we need young people from 18 to 24 years old who want to grow and change their life. And that is for KW Kids Cares. There's some children that need to be here. It doesn't cost them anything, but they're asking for you to pay it forward with a $25 donation so the next kid can go free. So I'm going to be looking at you straight in the face and say, if you have kids in that age, get them in here, for Lisa Archer's going to be teaching that as well. You know there's probably somebody in your church, synagogue, somebody somewhere that needs to be that needs to be in that class that's 18 to 24 years old. It could totally change their future.
And the very last item is you guys have a sheet in front of you for Peter Chattel's One Thing workshop. Everybody should have a sheet for that. He's got a couple of 2-for-1 seats left, so that is if you are coming yourself and you are bringing somebody from outside real estate, so a mortgage lender, an inspector, somebody whose world could really be flipped upside down by having a conversation about identifying what that one thing is for them. So Peter's in the back, so if you want to talk to him, have a conversation. He also has, if you have to skirt out after team meeting, he left his phone and his email to contact him.
Perfect.
That's all I got, Robin.
Kenya, did you have anything?
Yes, Red Day, if you all don't know, it is coming up May the 10th. Dory, James, and Jenna are rock stars because they are really helping with, just pull everything together in terms of the initiative of what we need to do and how we need to do it. So thank you all. Jenna, if you're watching online, thank you too. So we really are looking for volunteers, and we will have, emails going out too. We really need people hands-on to really help make this a great success for the Fugees. I talked to Miss Karina. I was a little crazy last week because she was like, "You're calling me on spring break." So she is getting things together in regards to what she wants us to put in the goodie bags, the tours, because we want to get back and do some tours, and some of you don't know about the Fuji Academy, so it's a great way to learn. So just please put this on your calendar, May 10th.
we'll have a ton of people, I promise.
Absolutely.
We'll have a ton of
And,
people.
and money, we always, we want money, please donate, thank you.
Yes,
Will you
ma'am.
announce career night tomorrow?
Career night is Thursday night of this week from 5 to 7.
5 to 8.
5 to 8, so if you have someone you want to bring to career
We
night.
need volunteers.
We need volunteers to help clean up. Yes, ma'am.
So just to add to career night and then productivity committee, if that's okay. So career night, for those of you who haven't been or can't make it, it's right here in this room. We totally jazz it up. We could definitely use help with volunteers to get the room ready. We bring in all of our great chairs and lamps. We set up a bar. Food is provided, and it's a lot of fun. So whether you've got someone who can make it in or you just want to be part of the fun, we'd absolutely love your help. If you can sign up or donate some of your time, please feel free to let myself or anyone on the ALC know. Also, if you can't make it and you've got people who'd like to attend, let us know, right? So we're here to help you build your downline and share the love and welcome people to the family. So we're able to do that for you.
Yeah, and when does the presentation start? I know because two of my people, they were like, hey, wanna come, they might be running a little bit late, not like at 5 o'clock, so what do you?
That's okay, and even
Okay.
if we've done the presentation when
Okay.
they come, give us their names, have them, they're welcome to seek me out, and I'll take them through it regardless. A member of the ALC will take them through it. So it's okay if they can't make the whole event, or they can just make a little bit. Give us a name, partner with us, create an anchor for them at the event, and we'll make sure everyone's taken care of. Does that
Probably
sound fair?
between 6 and 6:30.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
What's the date again?
It's Thursday.
Tomorrow.
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 And then productivity committee. So this is twofold, right? Your productivity committee has put together this mastermind series that we absolutely love. It's called the Now What Mastermind. So our first was, I've got a new listing, now what? Yesterday we had a really great session that was about hiring your first assistant and where you're at with that and what that looks like. We'll have them monthly. Productivity committee is meeting next Wednesday after team meeting in this room. If you want to be a part of deciding what those masterminds look like, if you just want to jazz up your productivity, if you want to be able to brainstorm, please join us. We'd absolutely love to have you. And for those of you who haven't checked out Magical Mornings yet, Dory has put together this phenomenal program. It's every morning, 8:45 to 11 a.m. We are role playing, right? We are learning new scripts. You're basically with a support system. So if you're having a hard time committing to that time, come in the morning. We'll sit with you, we'll support you. You know, if you're getting some hard no's, that's what we're there for. So it's really about lead gen, it's about building your business, and it's about having a support system around you. I'll be there tomorrow morning and would absolutely love to see you every day. It's in the extended training room in the small room. Thank you. That was a lot.
Guys, thank you so much for giving us an hour of your time today, and lunch is ready.
Awesome.